Hey guys, Richard Tanner here again with a new episode of Director on Director. And this week, I get to talk to a hero of mine, a man that in 2003 actually convinced me, without even knowing me, that I should make movies. Today we're going to be talking to Chad Hendricks, the guy who made Kracker Jack'd, and his new movie, Trap Life, available on Tubi now. It's the bastard sons of Dolemite coming at you, and I'm telling you, you're not going to miss this one. You're not going to want to miss any of them, so subscribe and like... Ooh, this channel. That's right. On with the interview. All right, guys, and welcome back to another episode of Director on Director. This week it is just such a great thing for me. I get to talk about some films that really got me into filmmaking and get to talk to a director that I have the utmost respect for, holding it down since 2003, just in Blockbuster, when Blockbuster still existed, before I even worked there. We get to hear it up for Chad Hendricks. How's it going, Chad?
Good, man. How are you? I appreciate the intro. I'll have it put on my tombstone. That's dope.
Yeah, right. No, man, seriously, I don't think we've officially met in person. We've talked online a lot, but you literally are the first director that I met that, and this is meant to be a compliment. You're the first director. I've seen Evil Dead. I have seen some cheesy movies, and I'm like, oh, wow, man, B-class movies are the best. And then one day I saw Kracker Jack'd at Blockbuster, and I was like, oh, my God, I think I can make a movie. Because it was so amazing, because I'm like, this is a dude who's hanging out with friends that are talking like me and my friends talk. And it's not, in the woods somewhere that I've never seen before, because I grew up in the south side of Fulton County, just south of Atlanta. So I grew up in a hood basically. And so watching that was great. And then it's also this classicness that is you're Southern, it's in Jacksonville, right?
Yeah, it's Duvall County, and it was literally my second kid. It was my second shot at making a feature film, and we went for it. I was making $8 an hour at NBC, and then I got crazy enough. The weekends we just started shooting Kracker Jack'd in the summer of '02, and we just went for it, man. I'm just a trailer park kid that grew up on hip hop, and yep. So sometimes that hip hop slang with a hillbilly twang would just tend to it all blends. It blends nicely, and so that's Kracker Jack's just a hodgepodge, of the South.
Yeah, I would agree. I too. I grew up in a trailer park as a kid, but it's all we listened to. We'd listen to Eminem. A lot of my friends listened to ICP, but I got into all the Outkast, and then eventually got into trap music. And I just watched today, just so I could be prepared. I watched Boss Moves because it's on Tubi. And
nice.
Yeah, I got to show some friends that, man, because it felt like a very down to earth Guy Ritchie film, just because everything kept clicking. But that's what I like about you, dude. You really do. You have this hometown flavor to me that's hard to find, because this time when you talk about the South, you get so characterized as oh, you're wearing overalls and going barefoot, and it's yeah, but we're in overalls barefoot going to a club or something. Yeah. It's a little bit of both. It's not what you see on TV. So
yeah, I tend to be I tried to work both sides of the fence. I love everybody, so I don't really give two tits about race. And
yeah,
if you're a piece of shit, of whatever race, you're always going to be a piece of shit. If you're good people, then awesome. So it's an Outkast. Hey, the Outkast was my 20s, and my 30s. My third movie, Insane in the Brain, the soundtrack to that was the Love Below speaker box, so it's, if someone asks me my top 5 hip hop of all time, I'm putting Andre 3000 as my favorite rapper. It just is what it is. So
yeah, you can't go wrong with them, man, at all. So something you've done differently than most of the conversations I've had so far, I'm still fledgling on this little video cast, but most of us guys, we do horror. Now you've done a lot other. I got one other one physically here for you, Me and Mrs. Jones, which is my favorite now. I love this.
I appreciate it.
Yep.
Appreciate that.
But we always focus really hard on this distribution. It's been awful for distribution horror. And that's most of the reason why we make horror, is because we know how to sell it. We go out and can hit horror conventions and be able to go, all right, so here's my movie, you know, Frankenthug. Here's my movie, Once Upon a Nightmare. And people are like, oh, I'm going to buy it just because it sounds cheesy. But you've got into a lot of different types of movie. Me and Mrs. Jones is a, you know, a romantic comedy almost. I would categorize it as that. And it's wonderful. You've got the horror comedy. Boss Moves is straight up an action drama, you know, and they're really good. And then most of them do have an urban centric flair to it. But how have you found that? Like, how have you been able to sell that? And how did you get into Blockbuster? And, you know, back in the day before they were failing, like, it's amazing to me.
Well, there's this really good guy named Doug Schwab. He owns Maverick Entertainment down in Fort Lauderdale area.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not quite sure how I found him or he found me. Oh, I literally in 2002, as second weekend, we had filmed Kracker Jack'd, and we were like, damn, the ABFF down in Miami is going on this American Black Film Festival. Mm-hmm. And so I put together snippets of those 2 weekends of Kracker Jack'd and made what someone would call a trailer and took it down there and walked around with a little handheld camera trying to show it to anyone who would listen. And Maverick Entertainment happened to have their own hotel room and all that they were actually, you know, accepting urban films out of and all there in the festival. And so I showed him the trailer. Doug was like looking around everybody. People were laughing. He's like, did you write this? And I go, yeah. He goes, you're a funny motherfucker. And I'm like, I appreciate it, you know. So he said, is the movie done? I'm like, yeah, it's close. Yeah, sure. So he said, when it's done, send me a screener. And so that gave us motivation to get the movie done and sent it to him in early 2003. And then by September of 2003, it was in Blockbuster because that was the deal he had back then. Was he got like two spots in. 2 urban spots and I think maybe 2 Christian or Latino spots every month on the shelves of Blockbuster and stuff. And so here's my little $7,000 movie sitting in between Schwarzenegger and Stallone and all the heavy hitters of Hollywood back in 2003, you know. So, but distribution is.
Blockbuster. Yeah. I actually stole this from Blockbuster, man. That's where I got this one back in 2003. Really? I was like, oh, this ain't going back, man.
Nice. It was really my second attempt ever at anything of resembling a movie. And the audio's bad, but it's really a Friday meets Friday the 13th. And we had so much fun making that movie. And I know some people who are going in wanting a horror film, and it's a comedy. You know, I write more comedies than anything. But you know, we tried to spruce it up with as much blood and guts as we could do. So I remember literally watching Friday the 13th, jotting down notes and everything, going, you know, stalker POV of chick in bikini, you know, guy getting laid, getting killed, you know, those kind of little things to figure out how to set it up and all. And Kracker Jack'd was just a dream. I was sleeping on my parents' floor and woke up and jotted down on a pen and pad and woke up the next day and it says white boy who thinks he's black. And I'm jotting down these little random ass notes and stuff, and it was called Sickle Cell Psycho.
That's good. That's good.
And so went to the library, knocked it out in 2 weeks with this new thing called Red Bull that they had just come out with around 2002. And man, that was the start of it. But distribution is elusive. It's tough. You know, I play the urban game because it has its own niche, you know, but
especially I'm Tubi, man. Like I was noticing, like when you start posting on Tubi, your stuff's up there in the, like when it goes to the urban flicks, like you're in the top of that, and that's a popular category. So it's a good niche.
It's I mean, it's just like horror or Latino, you know, you really if you stay with that genre and all, you're going to do well. You know, it's that old Hollywood adage, you know, if you're going to do a horror flick, you know, get 10 or 20, you know, attractive people and kill them all in one house. You know, it's one location, lots of blood, lots of Karo syrup and red and blue food coloring. And, you know, a lot of cheeky shit talk, and you've got yourself a movie, you know, so.
Yeah, that's it. Now, and so Kracker Jack'd, man, that actually inspired directly my movie Frankenthug, just because like when we were kids, and we were kids back then, because I probably got it in 2003 and I was still in high school, we would sit there and sing in the hallways Kool-Aid Red. Like it was our favorite thing. No one knew what the hell we were talking about, just 5 of us. But we'd always go and try to watch the hood horror movies and things. So after I tried a couple of times, I was like, you know, this is going to be my big movie. I'm going to make Frankenthug. And we did it. And it was about a dude who, you know, comes back from the dead with magical weed and wreaks havoc against a biker gang. And it's balls to the wall. And that's what it was. It was me just going, you know, even if this isn't good, the thing I loved about Kracker Jack'd was just I had never seen anything like it before. And I thought that was like a really good way to go about it. And I mean, it worked. I got it on Troma. Like that was distribution. Never will see a dime, but you know, it's out there. It's, you know, something.
Hey, congrats. Yeah. Troma will make your, you know, something and all immortal, man, because, I mean, they've got their niche. They had offered to buy a movie I had called Neck of the Woods. And I ended up not doing it and stuff, but so the movies, no one's ever really seen the film and all, but I should have been smarter to just be like, just give it up, you know, that way, you know, the exposure and stuff. But yeah, it's weird, man. I mean, some people are really film aficionados. They've seen all the Godfathers. They know what's good and what's bullshit. I don't. I've never seen any of the Godfathers. My favorite movies are like Grease 1 and 2, Wedding Crashers, Superbad, you know, Porky's, you know, anything, any TNA and shit talk is. So, I mean, I'm really not the dude who's going to be the next Spielberg. I'm just the dude who's having fun and would like to make a living at it someday, you know, so.
Yeah, I think that's a big problem with filmmakers today. Like most of them, they are getting big. They can now go and get the movies at Sundance, Cannes, and all that. They're not fun. Like Quentin Tarantino was fun back in the day. Kevin Smith was fun. Now everything's so pretentious. There's people trying to be like, oh, I've got something to say. And I'm like, can't you just make a movie that's good and says something instead of trying to be this artistic? Like, I want to see something that I enjoy. So hard to find an indie movie that's like, oh, I want to watch this with someone else, not just once and then write a thesis and be like, oh, I'm smart.
Yeah, I mean, I love to get great camera angles or whatever I feel is great in my brain or whatever I'm seeing on the fly.
Yeah.
And yet I'm not the dude that's planning out these ridiculous, you know, pan shots and jibs and all these random ass angles, because let's just say Boss Moves was me, my buddy, and his wife. That was 3 people that made that movie. So when we're on the set, you know, the shotgun mic's normally on a C-stand or an actor that's not in the shots holding them.
I know
so,
that.
I mean, it's, you know, if I had gaffers and all, you know, whatever the hell an AD and a PA and all that is, then it would be, you know, then sure, you know, it'd be great to do all these dolly shots and but it's masturbation, you know. I'm trying to tell a story. I'm trying to get it done, you know, fast, you know. So I want it to look good. Let's hopefully everybody's ass is in focus, and then hopefully our first time actor, whatever random rapper, trapper, or booty clapper can really just nail a line, you know. So, or it's up to me and whoever I'm working with and all to get that acting out of them and stuff. So
That's hilarious. That's going to be the new tagline for any movie I do. Rapper, trapper, booty clapper. That's it right there.
Right? Why not, man? The D boys, the B boys, and the strippers. Everybody needs to, everybody wants to be a star. So
that's the truth.
Someone come on.
Yeah. So let me ask you this, man. So you have been doing this for a while. Like I said, Kracker Jack'd was 2003. Boss Moves was 2020, or did you actually do it this year?
We made Boss Moves the end of 2019. I edited in 2020, and the pandemic kept us from finding a theater. They were trying, offer 20% of a theater. Everybody's 6 seats away and bullshit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So, and then when you find a distributor, like a Maverick, they're pumping out 7 movies a month, and they're looking for other filmmakers and all in content. So we had to play our position and wait a good 5-6 months anyway, until we got our opportunity. So I wish I could just make a movie and then put it out as I go, or put it out tomorrow or something like that. But it's just not. It's not feasible, No,
that pandemic was a bitch to all of us, man. It was like it sucked for everybody, but filmmakers were like, "Oh shit, what do I do now?" But what was it like? So I'm gonna assume that like you shot probably Kracker Jack'd on video. I would assume. I don't think digital was a big thing then, right? And now you're doing digital, definitely. How's that transition, man? That's got to be mind blowing.
Yeah, it's pretty trippy that you go from DV tapes to SD cards, or to compact flash cards to SD cards and stuff. So I've never really gave 2 tits about film. I always you grab whatever you can reach and afford, and so like I've been using Canon for a good 18-20 years, and then switched over to Sony for Boss Moves, and it was my first 4K film. So it's just a different feel now. Everything's just so detailed. I love it. I'd really given up filmmaking in 09, and from 06 to 09, somewhere in there, I just took 2 or 3 years off because I was losing money.
Yeah.
And had a girlfriend that was cool enough to get out of the way and let me just go make Block Burner. And when I made it with my first HD camera back in 09. It was a Canon 7D. And so that's when it just got real easy to be able to record and not be scared as hell that the DV tape, by the time you record and then transfer, it might rip or break or get stuck in the camera and everything. So it's all come a long way, man.
It has. I love it because I'm sure you get this too. Like, I love that people ask me about how to make movies. You'll always get some guy coming up to you like, "Oh, you made a movie. How do you do it?" I'm like, man, today you've got a cell phone that has a better camera than I'm using. Trust me, like, get that out there and click. That's it. Write a story and then YouTube everything else. You'll figure it out. It's out there. It's on different channels and everything. So it is. But I think it's funny because I only have one other guy that I know. His name's Fred Vogel. Hopefully I'll have him later. He started about the same time you did. And I think he shot on VHS. Like, he was literally putting it on there and doing this. So it's crazy watching you guys still come along and still, trend setting for the future of indie, like, getting out there and putting it. It's a hell of a move, man. It's a boss move, if you will.
To be honest, you're in Atlanta, so I would rather be asking you how to get my stuff out there, because you're one of maybe only a couple of hundred people who have Mrs. Jones. Maybe only, who knows, maybe only 10 or 20 that might have Kracker Jack'd, Right. So I don't really know how to get my stuff out there to the rest of the world. I feel like I'm just the guy that creates and keeps creating, and it's hard because just turned 50, and so never been married, no wife, no kids. and I just don't want to be the guy that on his tombstone the shit says the guy who made movies no one ever saw. That would that would just be a really downer of like, hey, I've already given 20 years on and off to this. God, if I gave another 20 and didn't see some kind of income, or to be able to, find a way to, have money when I retire, or to fall in love, or have some blockheaded kids like me and whoever she is. It just would almost feel, I don't know if it'd be a waste of a lifetime, man, but, still got time.
Yeah. You nailing it too, man. Like, I think that a lot already. I'm just like, oh man, should I quit? Like, I'm not making money. I'm getting some headway. People know me, but there's no money yet. And I actually just released a movie on YouTube for free, and it blew my mind. It got like 25,000 views in like a month. It was crazy. But something you've done that I thought was really cool is you started putting all of your stuff on like Amazon for free. I know you put like I know at least Kracker Jack'd free online on YouTube, and you're putting it out there for people to get. Now, what me and you both got to figure out is people are watching it, people see it. How the hell do we get money from it?
Yeah. How do you eat off of it? Now, mind you, if we want to get technical and start talking about AVOD and SVOD and TVOD and all these different ways, these video on demands of where we can make, $1, because Amazon used to pay good money, but now they're cutting the indie guys at the knees. And so, I had to just go ahead and pull all my stuff off of Amazon because it wasn't doing well, you know? And so, luckily there are the Maverick Entertainments out there and the IndieRights.com and people like that are helpful in getting your stuff onto a Tubi, because Tubi's where the money's at. Tubi is where everybody's eating, is because when we go, hey, go watch my movie for free, people are like, oh, I can do that. And then they watch the whole movie and you or I get paid off of commercials. So it's a win for everybody, so no one's paying bullshit subscription monthly prices. They're just watching commercials and movies and enjoying themselves. So everybody wins with AVOD, advertising, video on demand and stuff. So, but YouTube, maybe, 25,000 views ain't nothing to sneeze at.
That's why I'm doing this show now, because I'm like, oh, I don't need to sleep at this, man. We need to get out there and keep putting stuff out to get subscribers. But YouTube is the one getting any money from advertisements on that, not me. So I got to get there, man. But I like that. That's something I'm going to put that online, AVOD. That's the way to go, kids. You need to get out there, try to get your movie on this. Because seriously, behind me, I don't want to move this camera because it'll fall apart on me. But I got 3,000 movies. I love collecting physical media, but it's kind of dead. You get the hardcore collectors out there still, but most people are going to pick up and stream. I still do it. Like if I want to watch a Marvel movie, I have all of them, but hell, I'm going to go to Disney Plus and be like, all right, we're going to watch it here. So I don't have to put the shit in. So it's getting it online is probably the way of the future, even though I want the physical copies of everything. No one else does, sadly.
Yeah, I can't lie. Like stuff that I really hadn't. I'm in this weird phase where I really love watching stuff I've seen before. Now, mind you, if I saw Crush Groove when I was 15 and I saw it a month ago on Tubi TV, I was like, holy shit, I've forgotten so many things about it, but it brought back all my childhood. I'm like, holy shit, there's the Beastie Boys and LL Cool J and Run DMC and all these guys I grew up on and stuff in one movie. And I'm Gonna Get You Sucker and Hollywood Shuffle and Back to School with Rodney Dangerfield. I'm like, holy shit, you can't get those movies anywhere. You got to go to an old flea market and hope a VHS or a CD or DVD and all is out there of these movies. But that's what's so cool about the Tubi TVs of the world is the old and the new just are all meeting at one place, and you're not paying for shit no more. You're just watching them, and they're eating. The owners of them make their money off of the stream, and and you have a good time reminiscing, So
Tubi
I wish I could
reinvented
get you're right.
It's
I wish I
hilarious.
could get Kracker Jack'd on Tubi. To be honest, I think it would do well on a Tubi. I think people would find it a little easier, but
yeah,
Amazon people really couldn't find everything. It's weird like that. So.
Yeah, it is. No, that is interesting, man. Because Tubi, it's not the same shit that you see on. If it's on Netflix, then it's going to be on Hulu the next week. Then it's going to be on Prime, and then it just cycles. So you're seeing the same 10 movies over and over again. You get to Tubi, like the dumbest movie. Like I just watched Turbulence. I don't know if you remember this. It was like 97, 98. It was Ray Liotta. He was a serial killer that broke loose on the plane and hijacked it. They made 2 sequels to that movie. They're both on Tubi, so I'm watching the hell out of those, man. Just these forgotten flicks that, unless you have it on VHS, have never existed since, haven't been seen since. But Tubi's a very interesting place where you get new movies like yours, those old movies. Sounds like we're doing an advertising piece. Like they should give us some money right now.
The Last Boy Scout, all these movies that I just grew up loving and everything and all is just, it's funny as shit to just be thumbing through them. All the Dolemite movies, I can watch any Rudy Ray Moore movie I want and shit, which, I haven't smoked in a while, so I'm not going to watch Rudy Ray, but if I'm high, shit, Dolemite is where it's at,
Yeah.
I always say that with Kracker Jack, you need a 40, a blunt, and some raw cookie dough to watch my shit, but it's fun. I've done it before, and I'm like, who wrote this shit? That's a funny motherfucker. Oh, that was me.
Yep. No, I recently found out because of the COVID, man, like I ended up going to some film festivals this year instead of conventions. The world of difference. Because at conventions, I'm going in, with like 230 packs of High Life, just toss a beer, like get drunk, throw shit at the screen, guys. Film festival people are sitting there just, legs crossed, fingers crossed, staring at your movie. You're like, no, smoke something, drink something, dude.
Right.
Wow, this is not the type of movie you need to be like, why is there a bottle of blood in the background? So, it's a lot better when you're a little inebriated, at least.
Dude, I just appreciate that you enjoyed Kool-Aid Red. I mean, I think when I wrote it, it was more clever than the way I was able to pull it off with the actors. Like if we were smart, we would have pre-recorded it with a beat and everything that went perfectly with it, and it would have, instead of it just randomly all of a sudden, here's this dude at the refrigerator and all spitting poetry rhymes and shit,
Right.
But I'm glad somebody caught it. I mean, because there's a lot of little silly things that I just threw in there through the kitchen sink at, just the Jason was literally like, ice, baby,
Yes.
all of that. And that was my voice. That was just, we were just trying shit and all in 2002, so it was a big house party.
That's my favorite part about doing movies is just those jokes that no one except for you and your homeboy are going to sit there 20 years later and be like, remember that? Remember the Ted Bundy joke, man? That's pretty funny.
Right. I know, like with Insane in the Brain, it's a bunch of Afro zombies and you just wonder if people get all the jokes because they're 70s jokes. They're literally, Clark patties and shit like that. Is like, what's a Clark patty? Well, it was the old school like Salisbury steak that came in the freezer and shit in the 70s. But it's little silly jokes like that and shit. That I always go, man, I want to redo Kracker Jack'd and Insane with HD and shit. Now that I know what I'm doing, but. My buddy who used to manage me a little bit, he's like, man, that's kind of what makes it great is it's just it's all over the place. It's not perfect and all, But I'm like, but in Kracker Jack'd, when she's dead in the bathroom, we used a red color gel and you can't even see the damn tampon that's tied around her throat and shit, So it's just those little things that fall through the cracks.
Yeah. I got a quick question for you, man, because like I said, I just watched Boss Moves today, and I usually do shit like this. So again, it's these inside jokes. Trap House Chicken. Is that a real place?
It is, and it's the best chicken in Jacksonville. If you're ever in Jacksonville, Florida, Trap House Chicken, which is THC.
Yep.
And a good friend of mine, his name is Raw, and him and his family own it. And he went so far into detail with it and all. Like, he literally, you can buy a nick, a dime, a dub, which is 5 wings, 10 wings, 20.
This is why I was asking. I went to their website and I'm like, oh my, if this is a movie prop joke, this is hilarious. If this is real, it's even better.
Yeah, the crack wedges are so good. They're potato wedges with the cheese whiz on there with like fried pieces of ribs or chicken. He's got side chicks. There's like, and of course the plain one is the Becky, and it's just straight chicken and white provolone on there. So he's clever, man. He's been a rapper. He's in his own heavy metal band. He's just one of these rare dudes, and he's good people. And the food is tremendous. People come from out of town for damn Trap House Chicken, so. Yeah, somebody else said that. They're like, fucking Trap House Chicken. I'm like, it's for real, and it's delicious.
That's awesome. That is awesome. I'm gonna have to make a special trip just for that, man.
Yeah, I promise it's delicious. Just like there's little spots in Atlanta where you go, you got to go there if you come here. It's worth the trip.
Gotcha. So, what else you got? You got anything new going on? You in pre-production for anything?
I'm in post production on Section 8.
Oh, that's right. I should know that.
Yeah, about 40 minutes of it edited, and we have about a day and a half left to shoot some pickup stuff. Yeah. But it's my buddy who wrote Boss Moves, and he wrote Trap Life, which we did about 10 years ago, and it's getting a new release in a couple of weeks. It'll be on Tubi TV.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah, his name's Rue or Lucci Cruz, and he wrote Section 8, and it's our first time trying a movie without cussing in it, believe it or not.
Oh.
It's a mix. It's like white racist cops, some Latino drug lords. It's a mix, and but it's fun, man. We shot most of it back around April or May earlier this year and stuff. And so
I remember seeing you post about that one.
Yeah, we'll shop it around and hope like hell for distribution and see what the possibilities are. But it's my 11th feature film. And in about 20 years, real crazy. I mean, if I just believed in myself and said, fuck it, and just did one a year, I'd be 20 movies in. It'd be some cool shit. But eventually I'm going to have to be smart enough to let go of the wheel and not do everything, not be the guy writing, directing, shooting, editing, because why not just give someone else the opportunity? Why not teach somebody else something? Why not be able to do more than one movie a year? So I mean, I'm pretty inspired at 50. I've kind of, distribution and some success with Boss Moves, put some wind in the sails, and
good.
And hopefully we make some money first quarter, and then end up just pushing it back into another movie. So I've got another 4 or 5 scripts I've been sitting on that it's time to do one of my movies, one of my scripts that I wrote and stuff, and do a comedy, something slapstick, and have some fun. So well,
I'll give you credit, man. My nickname for you is going to be King Cohen of the Florida crowd. All right. So you're like Cohen doing the stuff, and Q, the Winged Serpent, like you're getting it out there, and it's going to find its place. It's definitely going to find its place. It might be a few more years, but you definitely have the right stuff, man.
I appreciate it.
Definitely, man. I'm going to put links down here for all of you, but give a little shout out to like how they can find you, websites, anything like that, Twitter handles, whatever you got.
Yeah, right now is really Instagram .com 2 crackers and a lamp. That's the number 2 crackers and a lamp. Or Chad Hendricks on Instagram. That's Hendricks with CKS on the end. Same thing on Facebook, really. Both of those. Please go to tubitv.com and type in Boss Moves and check out a film and let us know what you think, good or bad. Just keep watching it. And
after you finish it, let the cats watch it when you're at work, rewind it, watch it again. Just
right?
Let it keep going, man. Just let it keep going.
It helps. The streaming minutes help, man. Every little bit, really is appreciated and stuff. And so, it's a good time to be alive, man. You just don't know. You might wake up one day and someone will have invented a damn streaming website where we can all put our stuff on and let people just weed through it and figure out what they like, instead of all of us having to figure out how much ass we have to give up on distribution and all. So it's silly like that. I know YouTube helps too. You just have to make sure all your music is cleared, or that it's original and stuff, so you can actually, see something come back from that. But, yeah, man, it's always cool to hear the good and the bad. Ever since Kracker Jack'd, I was told, it's the worst shit I've ever fucking made. And the next dude's like, it's the best shit ever fucking made. And I'm like, I don't think it's either one, It just is what it is, man.
Yep, that is the truth.
You catch it on the right day, and it'll motivate you to go write something new. Or you catch it on a day it's raining, and you'll give up the dream altogether, So,
Yep.
But I appreciate you giving me your time, man. It's nice to finally catch up and shoot the breeze.
Hell yeah, man. Thank you for coming on. Like, as dumb as it may sound, this is a little bit of a dream for me. Like, again, you started this for me. Like, for anyone that hates my movies, hate him more. He's the one that, sparked that bug where I thought about it. So it's
not your fault or mine. It's Rudy Ray Moore's fault. It's fucking
right
Dolemite. Pull him out of the grave and whip his ass, because we are the bastard children of Dolemite.
Oh, all right. That's it, man. That's the next movie right there. We'll cross make it, the bastard children of Dolemite.
Right. You rat soup eating motherfuckers.
Oh, shit. Well, thank you everyone for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe and catch us next week. Bye, guys.